Welcome to the bold ba- oh. Welcome to the bold analysis for the bold family. 2nd of March is normally my birthday, so a very happy birthday to me as I finally get to the third floor. Yes, so third floor, please be kind to me. Let me tell you, last time at this time, I celebrated my birthday when I had 4,000 subscribers. So 1 year later, we are at 53,000 subscribers. If you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, that is the best gift that you can do for me. And those who are asking for the number, I've pinned the number there. Ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua, is a very interesting. I think we may have to study Rigathi for better part of this term, if they, as far as God gives us life. There is something that has happened, and I have seen the former Machakos governor, who is currently the Foreign Affairs CS, Alfred Mutua, saying that he has allowed in a government reshuffle, rather restructure, he has allowed the deputy president to rather to be in charge of direct engagements between international organizations and missions and government ministries, departments and agencies. MDAs is ministries, departments and agencies. So, for example, the international financial organizations like even IMF, the United Nations mission in Kenya, and the other missions that are here, those who want to engage with different departments, ministries and agencies within government will not have to go through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They are allowed to engage directly with those ministries, but it has to go through Rigathi Gachagua. I want to tell you something in this analysis that will really very interesting for you. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our video. Thank you very much for those who are supporting us. Nasema santeni sana. Ladies and gentlemen, if there is something that William Ruto has perfected, is to massage the ego of the two gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua and Musalia Mudavadi. Last cabinet dispatch, just on Musalia, gave Musalia some powers there over some ministries. Now this one here, Foreign Affairs, is also giving some powers to Rigathi Gachagua. I've looked at the CS saying that it's one way to cut the bureaucracy. And if you want to cut the bureaucracy, because if that is the intention, then why putting another level of, why putting the gatekeeper there? What is the role of Rigathi Gachagua? If you've allowed the foreign missions to engage with the ministries and departments and agencies, then why are you involving the office of Rigathi Gachagua if it is the interest of removing those bureaucracies? But I will tell you something. You will actually realize that, of course, there is something that Ruto has been trying to do, is to try to remove those bureaucracies. But I think it's not even removing them. He's just trying to create new layers where he can always get, that can be very porous so that he can really get charge of. On this one, there is something that you need to see. The foreign international organizations are maybe, some of them are just financial organizations. Some of them are donors. Some of them are just offering grants. Some of them are sponsoring some projects or making collaborations like PPP, public-private partnerships. So they're allowed to, those ones with the ministries. But there is one thing that Ruto is doing, and that's what I want us to look at in this analysis. Can you have a flashback and ask yourself, how many foreign trips outside Africa has Rigathi Gachagua gone to? Can you ask yourself? I remember the very last I can remember is when he attended some event in Angola, and he had to go through Bujumbura and meet some minister there. Then from Bujumbura, he flew to Angola. That is the second in command. And I also want to challenge you to just sample a number of foreign trips that Musalia Mudavadi has made compared to Rigiji, since he became the prime cabinet secretary, compared to that of the third in command, Moses Masika Wetangula. And you will really understand my premise that Rigathi Gachagua is suppressed back. He has not made any. Someone might ask why these foreign missions very important. They're very important for the global network. And these networks are the ones that normally help you in future, especially your political escapades in terms of fundraising, and even now you also endearing yourself to the global north. This is normally something that those who are in power look up for. They really want it, and they desperately try to push. And in this video, let's look at it. Let's just fix the real fact. Why Rigathi Gachagua has been locked out these foreign trips? From what I see, number one, William Ruto is not excited of elevating Rigathi Gachagua profile beyond Mount Kenya. He's not into that business. In fact, I agree with those who argue that President Ruto is more close to Ndindi Nyoro and will be more comfortable with Ndindi Nyoro in his succession than Rigathi Gachagua. This is something that maybe Mount Kenya people can try to help us understand. You will realize that of late, the leaders from the region are whipped to sing a chorus that our kingpin is Rigathi Gachagua. One man who has not spoken about it is Ndindi Nyoro. I can tell you, William Ruto is not excited of the Rigathi Gachagua hype. Remember one thing, when there was an event in Laikipia, the first cabinet retreat in January this year, and Rigiji said that there was no need of religious leaders going to meet President Ruto in State House. They are planning a homecoming ceremony for William Ruto in Sagana, and they will sit down and talk about the issues of tea and coffee. That event, when it was said in January, it was supposed to be held in February. So maybe William Ruto has pulled the brakes on it. I don't think it has gained the momentum, or it's somewhere you can talk about it. So one thing you can see here is Ruto is not excited about Rigathi's rise. If anything, we've always been saying that I don't think the President Ruto never was really wanted the issue of Mount Kenya kingpin. He always wanted to be the kingpin because that will help him to spin the masses, of course the few that will be supporting him there at the end of his tenure, and I don't know whether that is 2027 or 2032, so that he can manage his succession. That is one, two. The other second to this, we also have to be very cognizant of the fact that the second in command is having many errors, especially speech flaws. Truthful man, I think Ruto is a bit uncomfortable with him going out because of the way he has been handling things. Maybe Ruto could be happy with him because of the gamer activism, but you also need to just be very careful. There are blunders that Rigathi has been making here in this country, even though as the political analysts we try to highlight, and the mainstream media we try to highlight, President Ruto has tried to be tolerant enough and just try to restrain, even though I know deep down behind the scenes, in the back room, he's a bit uncomfortable. In some of the statements he's been making around here, you'll even wonder, think about if the second in command goes to some foreign country and makes statements on how XYZ, or how this country and that country, how the discussions about Kenyan economy, or how Uhuru Kenyatta this, Uhuru Kenyatta that. From the word go, it's a very wrong signal. So I understand that could be at the center of it. Even though you may also ask yourself, does it mean that office, because the events that Musalia Mudavadi has attended in his capacity as the chief cabinet secretary, do you think that Rigathi Gachagua is not receiving invitations for some of these foreign trips in his capacity as the deputy president? Is that office not having international recognition so that it can also attract foreign trips? You need to ask yourself that. So if they are there, then there are some safeguards, or there is just an agreement that Forigiji is not going there. Mudavadi factor is limiting Rigath's chances. Mudavadi is more of a diplomat and is a man who, the son of Ndamba is more contained and looks, I think, a prime person to represent the president in the absence instead of Rigiji. There are some events that I remember when President went to UNGA, United Nations General Assembly in USA. Everyone went except Rigathi. Musalia Mudavadi was there in the host of other ministers. So you need to look at it. I think Ruto is preferring Musalia. But then maybe it's a blessing in disguise, because we all know that the second in command has said that his work in this country is to fix the shareholders of the company, so that those who are founders of the company, like for example, is just playing politics. For him, his work is politics. He's not on more of it. Is he not interested in the international clout, or is it that the president is a bit uncomfortable with him going out? But from the look of things, it cannot be a coincidence that he can't get out, or rather that he's not getting the foreign missions. Apart from those that he can get in his capacity as the deputy president, there are also those ones that he can be sent by president himself to present him. He was sent in Angola, but I've not seen Tigiji in Europe. I want to believe that something is behind it. Remember, Moses Kuria recently was touring, was meeting presidents in Africa here, one after the other. I think he's been meeting. If there is a CS that has been meeting presidents and delivering William Ruto's message, that man has been Moses Kuria. And many argued that what Moses Kuria is doing is what Rigathi Gachagua should be doing. So who is hijacking this? Who is hijacking? What exactly is going on? Because Moses Kuria is representing the president in something that to understand, yes, it's on trade. He's a trade CS, but he's been meeting heads of states of different countries in terms of trade. Why not the ministers? I want to believe that in the caliber of a deputy president, some of these missions that the other CS has been doing, I want to believe some are supposed to be meant for Rigathi.